Hello everyone, my name is Jay Martin. This is TW Replays. This is the first game we're broadcasting of the Team Championship 2021 edition. Excited to get this going. We've been working on it for quite a while. In this game, we are on Glaciaria. On the attacker's side, Derlis is playing as the Ottomans. We have Barkane as Spain, and Serval is playing as Portugal. This is the Imperial Eagle team. On the defender's side, we have Livgardet, which I believe is the French word for lifeguard. Playing as GB is Itchy Nuisance. In the center as France is Bob Ross. And on the right as Russia is SC Cinemalaga. Got him. This is the second game these two guys played. They were not able to save the replay for the first one. So they're a little familiar with each other at this point. I'm told that probably all of these players are European-based. I imagine they've played each other many times in the past. What we're seeing, the opening moves, very popular on this map, is everybody goes to the hill. Minimap helps there, the contour lines. This is where it's at. Even the position 3 players way back there are running over as fast as they can. This is why a nation like Ottoman is anything with shooter cav. France falls in that category, is privileged or preferred. These countries can get their cav units up here real fast, and if this looks strange because both sides have these units, so there's just going to be a standoff until the infantry gets here. But imagine a world where one side didn't have all the fast cav, then that side would probably be able to gain control of the terrain feature. And then notice that the Ottoman player here is moving all of their infantry into the forest. The GB lights are going there also. I would expect Spain and France to take up positions here. So, both players move into the forest. It looks to me like we're going to have double ranks on both sides. I do see two. I see one Janissary. 2 Janissaries loaded up with chevrons. So right now these guys are going to get in real close to one another. There's not going to be a whole lot of room for maneuvering. They're just going to kind of shoot at each other. This is the game they decided to play because on this map, this terrain is incredibly powerful. Now I'm a little curious where the position 3 players are going to wind up. And let's go ahead and watch this from the perspective of the lifeguards team here. I see a bunch of squares are up, I guess to respect this Ottoman cav that's still floating around. It looks like a lot of the cav is going to trade because on this map the rush distance to the hill for the infantry isn't that far. So while the cav are kind of skirmishing, there is time for the infantry to make an appearance, as it were, and more often than not the cav get caught when the infantry arrive. We're watching that right there. Ottoman cav's going to die. It looks like France was able to pull, that's 5 cav units, so they have 6 total. A bunch of cav units out in good order. That's going to be very useful later in the game. You can also see the Russian cav has arrived. They've got to be tired, very tired. Okay. But they want to chase away some of the Ottomans. It looks like Spain is going to do a bit of both. They're going to come back here to reinforce their partner and then maybe move another half of their army coming this direction. Ask me if I'm a fan of the modern way this map is played. I don't know. This seems to be the evolution of also maps like Arid Cliffs, where you just have these massive scrums kind of on the middle of the terrain feature. I think it's neat if the position 3 players, you know, have a little battle over there. There's nothing wrong with that. But obviously these players have pushed these strategies to these extremes based on their experience, right? If we tried to do this 10 years ago, I'm not sure, you know, what that would look like or how the opponent would respond. Would we just steamroll them because, hey, we got the terrain? I'm not sure. I think part of this too, well, it isn't, but what I was going to say is part of this is the rules of the tournament require you to move to the capture points or the strategic points on the map that Krokl has identified. And so the way the rules of the tournament break down is you're kind of required to move to these positions, and so it kind of forces you to do that. And we had this long debate the other morning that took about 4 hours about how to like more clearly define that. And one of the conclusions we came to is we think it should be a viable strategy if you want to try to engage the position 3 player here at the early part of the game, maybe knock them out before they can make this big trek, and then turn and attack the terrain. We think that should be fine, is I believe how we finalize the discussion on that. For now, these dudes are just duking it out. I always found this... Oh, the Janissaries are going in here. This could be an important moment. There is a 88th there. It looks like we're retreating to the lights to get away from them. I'm not real sure about doubling the Janissaries up like this. Does this work, or does somebody lose their charge bonus? There goes the square. I'm not sure. 15th Hussars. There's 12 of them. Oh, he's pulling the Janissaries back. He doesn't like the square. I'm not sure how great of an idea that is. We're down to 70 and 57. Maybe not a great idea. But what he did manage to do, Durlus managed to force the lights back and out of the forest. And now there's a unit in square. So this is going to miss some shooting opportunities. Part of me wonders if Durlus isn't going to pay a bit of a price for coming in so narrow like this, because we can see this kind of flanking motion there. It looks like... See, it's just so hard to see in the forest. It looks like he's positioned here, but I like GB's odds a bit better right there. Where'd the Janissaries go? Do I see Cav over here? 1 at 15. Yeah, this looks a little suspect. I think GB might be ahead right here. Let's take a look at how the rest of the field is going. So we have France with a big shootout against Spain. You'd have to expect that France is gotta be favored, right? And then Russia has moved here to take over a position in the line. And then we get into this secondary forest. Portugal beat Russia. I think I like Portugal's position a little bit better. Yeah, you have to move here. 1 unit can't fight 3. I think I'm generally not much of a Russia fan, but then that's always me forgetting that they can bring like 5 guards if they want. You know, so it makes your army substantially better. Cazadores seem to have a very good position here. And they haven't taken many casualties. That might be important. Yeah, I think Durlus's Ottoman is in trouble. If I was the GB player here, I would be comfortable enough with my lead that I would just walk in close and attrition the rest of your army out of here. Not a bad rally. I wonder where the general is. Is the general still here? I haven't seen the notification. Ooh, and there's a Russian cav in your rear. Oh, there he is. Ibrahim. Oh, he's... Okay, Janissaries are going back in. Chasing the lights away. The Janissaries are low enough. 44 and 64. They're not going to last very long. Portuguese cav come in. Met by the Russians. Yeah. I guess I haven't been keeping great track of this part of the battle, but it kind of looks to me like France has lost a lot of its army. I'm not sure how much an advantage Spain... Oh, there's an old guard. There's 2 old guard. I don't really know how to call this. It looks... Now that I take a better look, it looks to me like Spain and France did a pretty good job trading with each other. And I like the Portuguese position still. I wonder if these 3 Russian units could get in to impact the game. Both teams running out of horse units. If I had to make a prediction from this point, what's going to be relevant is how fast the Ottoman dies and how quick the GB player can turn to help their teammate. In the end, the extra GB units might be enough if this is just a bit of a standoff, but again, I think this Portuguese position is pretty scary. Excuse me. And maybe the Ottoman's not doing as bad. I don't know. I don't see them lasting too much longer. Serville was Portugal. I like how Serville is deploying his army. This even seems good to me right here. Square against some severely depleted Uhlans. That's an old guard routing. The second one, oh, 68 on this guy. Relevant. That's a decent position. Not sure why this guy's in square. Are they all in square? Coming out now. That is a lot of dead bodies. Everybody likes dead bodies. Ottomans are backing up. I would too. Is the GB foot going in for melee? I don't know how GB would do it, but I might consider moving some of my units to this part of the field. I guess he's doing that right here. Yep. This unit's going to have to move. Well, they're about to rout, I think. But that's a very good position. This could start to unravel. The Portuguese here have to pull them back. A relevant detail is that the Russian and French player has been in this forest for a lot of the game. I think Portugal's had enough of their shit and is deciding to move. Yeah, I mean, GB's doing it. They're disengaging their lights here and moving onto this part of the field. It looks to me like France and Spain definitely just traded. GB player got a little bit of a hit on the Ottomans and is going to come away with maybe 10 units left. And then the Russian player threw their weight into this section of the field. Portugal had more units against the rightish aspect of the Russian army. So there were some interesting decisions made there about where we're going to position our units. And then some mismatches occurred. I don't want to say that anybody did anything wrong, but it felt to me like Russia could have had more units available against the Portuguese and kind of got into one of those bad trades. They just didn't have enough units to put out considerable firepower, and now we're looking at a Portuguese player with like a dozen units left. Russia's still in the fight, of course, and I think the presence of the GB lights here is going to unravel the Portuguese position. They can't stay there for long. So it was kind of a decision that the defending team made about where to deploy their Russian player. There's a way to think about it. I think we're watching the Ottoman get ripped up here. This is the end. And, I mean, if the Portuguese player could get into the forest and clear it out, then I think we got a game here. This might be very close. might be very close. That's a good rally. See, I don't know. Portugal's got the forest. That's really strong. Another question is just how much more ammo do these lights have? See, he's made that decision now. He wants to move closer. So, Ottoman's gone. These units get to move and participate. Bounce Power Bar says the blue team is slightly ahead. I'm not sure I agree. I would guess that the Portuguese lights have a little more ammo than the GB ones. That could be relevant. I see a Portuguese general and all three for this team. I'm guessing the other two are routed. And now I think it's just about accuracy coin flips. Well, the GB team is slightly ahead, of course, but I don't think this is unwinnable. That's an interesting move. Is this a foot? Oh! The Musketeer get in for melee with the Cazadore. That's maybe big. Maybe big. Oh, there's still an old guard there. That's probably going to win in melee against that Portuguese infantry. Okay. Maybe I miscalled that. If I'd have... just the presence of the old guard is kind of a big deal. Yeah. I think it's too much from this point. So, the way the game went... I think the Ottoman... I understand what they were trying to do. They wanted all their infantry in the forest. That just kind of didn't work. It's too narrow. And I think the flanking position the GB player got on them was pretty good. The battle in the center seemed to be like they just traded pretty much. And then on the right, there were some decisions made about where to position all of the Russian army that Portugal kind of wound up winning that fight. But kind of in any symmetrical game, when you win one flank and lose the other, it's just kind of like who had more units when the dust settles from all of that. And then that team carries a pretty big advantage into the late game. In that case, there were more GB units than the Portuguese. The Portuguese kind of got sapped a little bit by the leftover French units. But very competitive, very close. I guess I should have mentioned at the beginning that the bans in this game were for Prussia and Austria. I think a ban on Austria is a little weird. And then nobody picked Sweden. Also a little weird. I would expect to see Sweden over Russia, maybe? Maybe over Portugal? I don't know. I think, yeah, so interesting decisions. So the bans are Prussia and Austria, and then we don't see a Swedish player, which is a little odd. Anyway, we are going to wrap up the game. This is the first match that's been played in the tournament. I was able to get my hands on the replay. Thank you for posting it. Bob Ross, I believe, was the one who did that. And then I would expect a lot of games to be played this weekend. We plan to be streaming most of them. So I'm in California time Pacific, about 10 a.m. until the players stop for the day. So we're going to set aside all of the weekend to try to bring you more games live. So in the end, the winners are Livgardet, and this was Itchy Nuisance with, wow, a lot of kills, and Bob Ross, and how am I supposed to say this? Sinner Giamalaga. I'm going to assume that's Spanish. And then a very well played game by the Imperial Eagles on the attacker's side. Durlis, Barkane, and Serval. Thanks, guys, for putting the game out there and letting me get a hold of the replay. In other news for the tournament, we made actually some real progress. Crowkill got our Matcherino thing set up, so you can contribute to the prize pool. Big thank you to 2 early contributors. We have Goldilocks and vluxic. I'm saying your name wrong, sorry about that. They both made contributions. The prize pool currently stands at $390. I think we can easily break 1,000 by the end of the event. If you enjoy the coverage that we're going to be doing, please support the players. There will be some free ways that you can do that with the coupon code and whatnot. And then we put up some neat incentives for you. If you want to contribute to the prize pool, you get some bonus attention from the administrators. You can pay $25 to play a game with me. You can pay $20 to have me do a replay of your choice. Some things like that. So I'll put a link to the Matcherino. By all means, check it out. It's cool. We think this is a really neat way going forward for us to crowdsource our fundraising, get these players some payouts, and that's it. If you have any questions, by all means, leave a comment. I'll try to get to you. I strongly recommend joining the relevant Discords if you seek more information. That's it. My name is Jay Martin. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.